Hi there. And today we wanted to take a look at step-up trombones. What makes a step-up trombone a little different than the student-level trombone that you may be or your students may be playing. So in a beginning trombone, the first thing you'll notice when I'm holding this and you're holding yours, if it's a student level or a beginning level trombone, is that this looks way more complicated than does a student level trombone. The reality is, it is a little more complicated, and that's why it's at an intermediate or professional level and your student doesn't start off with something like that. So the first difference that your player will notice, you may or may not notice, but your player will notice, is that the bore, the inside diameter of this, is much larger. So the student is going to feel somewhat like they're falling into this because they're blowing so much more air. What that produces, however, is a much more warm, rich, beautiful sound than a student level trombone can produce. That's one of the advantages of having a step-up trombone. In a lot of step-up trombones, if not most, there's also all this extra tubing up here. So that's released by this trigger right here that the player uses with their thumb. And what that does for the player is it gives him a whole extra side of the trombone and allows them to extend the length of the trombone, meaning that this right here, and then you pull the trigger like this, actually sounds lower. So the player can have the same as sixth position down here in first position with the trigger pulled. This allows an agility in playing the music that's much needed when somebody's playing intermediate level music or better, as they are when they get better in band. So the last thing I wanted to talk to you about was the difference between two different kinds of step-up trombones. This is what's called an open wrap. It has all of the tubing in one long piece like this, and it feels a little more open and free-blowing to the player. Over here, I'm going to pick up and have in my right hand, this is called a closed wrap or a traditional wrap trombone. And all of the tubing here is angled and done so that all of the tubing is inside that main bow around the trombone. So for the player, that creates a little bit more of a feeling of a push against them. Some players like that better, some